Hey everyone, James here, and on today's episode of Music Biz 101, we're going to be talking about a band called the Maine. Just to get everyone on the same page, here's a quick history lesson. The Maine is an American rock band that formed in Tempe, Arizona in 2007. They self-released their first EP and it quickly caught fire online. Now this is just when MySpace was starting to die and other social media platforms were taking off, and the Maine happened to capitalize on that last wave of MySpace music popularity, which attracted the attention of a ton of labels, including Fearless Records, who signed the group and put out their debut full-length, Can't Stop Won't Stop, in the fall of 2008. By the time the group's second record came out in 2010, the band had already become road warriors, touring as part of Van's Warped Tour, opening for Boys Like Girls and Good Charlotte, and many more successful runs. Their third album, Pioneer, came out in 2011 and marked a departure from Fearless Records and the start of what would become the group's mission moving forward, and that is to cultivate a sense of community around their music that would make them less reliable on the music industry in a traditional sense and more reliant on the relationship they had with their fans. Now, the band still partnered with a few labels on the international market just to help get their music out, as well as distributors, but overall, the Maine were fully independent artists, and that stays true to this day. The group's seventh studio album, You Are Okay, comes out on March 29th, and it serves as their most independent release to date. They've produced the record, they've written all the songs, they've worked on all the art together, they've curated every element of the album, including its rollout, by themselves, along with their management company, 8123, which has become a brand unto itself. But all of that is a result of the Maine's decision to go independent. We could make an entire video about how the Maine deciding to go independent was the best decision they could have made, and it's true. But the fact of the matter is that there are a ton of successful independent artists today who are all carving their own paths in this industry. What this video is about is how the Maine set themselves apart, and that's all about community. You see, unlike their peers and unlike a lot of the new artists coming out today, the Maine don't just have a relationship with their fans online. They aren't just engaging with tweets, sharing posts, and liking things. That's okay, and the Maine does do all those things, but they've taken things one step further. You see, the Maine have found a way to align their fans' journey through life with their own. People who love the Maine feel that they are a part of the band's success, and not just a small part, but a pivotal one. Everything the band does that helps them get ahead helps that person get ahead, and anytime the band has a setback, their audience feels that setback as well. And they've accomplished this through a lot of different ways, three of which I want to cover in this video. And I wish I could take credit for this. I wish I could take credit for all these things I'm about to outline for you. I was doing my research and I wanted to, but then it dawned on me. Since the people that love the Maine like to talk about them so much, why don't I just go to them and see what they had to say? As I'm going to fill the screen right here, you can see all of the tweets I've received over the last week from people who love the Maine, telling me why the band means that much to them, and I couldn't agree more. So here's the top 3 responses that I've received. Number 1, Risktaking. The Maine has started out as this very sugary sweet pop band that emerged just at the end of the neon pop era in alternative music. Now that trend dying killed a ton of great artists, but not the Maine. They saw that they needed to pivot their sound and pivot their look, and they did so just at the right time. And they didn't stick with that either. You see, as the years carried on, the Maine changed again and again and again. Just like their fans, the Maine continue to grow and evolve. They learn and they change. They never remain the same from release to release, taking it so far that in more recent years, every album has had its own color scheme, its own aesthetic, and that gets laid to rest. They literally held a funeral for the end of their last album cycle. And fans love that because, again, they feel aligned with the band. A person you are today is not the person that you were 2 years ago, and it's not the band the Maine was 2 years ago. They keep changing, and because of that, people stay interested in what they're doing, and they're constantly trying to follow every little step the band makes. Number 2, the Maine are kings of content and engagement. Now, they have all the same social media profiles that everyone else does. They're on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and they interact with fans on there in a very regular way all the time, but they also go above and beyond. And by that I mean that they make efforts to be as transparent as possible. They don't want anyone to think that they're rock stars. They don't want anyone to look at them as some gods up on stage. They're just people like you and I, and we're all getting through this experience called life together. And that's what their music is about. They don't write songs about things that don't happen. They write songs about the realities of day-to-day life and how things only get harder as you get older, and the concerns that you had when you were 18 aren't the concerns that you'll have when you're 30, but they're concerns nonetheless. They do all they can to be as real with their fans as possible, and that's something that you don't really see in music or in social media. And I think we're all kind of responsible for this. We all show our best selves online. Our Instagram feeds are curated with the best moments of our lives, but the Maine are not afraid to show the uglier side of things. They show the difficult parts. They show the things that aren't always easy, and because of that, again, their fans just relate to it. Their fans say, oh, these are just guys. They're guys who are very talented, who write catchy songs, and are arguably even pretty good looking, but they're just people. They're just people like you and me, and because of that, people feel a closeness to them that all the glitz and glamour and well-polished videos and all that can just never duplicate. Number 3, the Maine understands that if you're going to do something, you have to give it your all. Now, in the terms of music, that refers to writing and recording, touring, making videos and promotional materials, interacting online, and engaging with your fans. And if you talk to somebody that likes the Maine, they all have stories about how the band has made them feel special as an individual and not just as somebody who gives them money to do the thing that they do. In fact, one girl online shared a story recently about how she met Jono from the Maine, the lead singer, I should say, for people that don't know. And she mentioned to him that she had missed the band's tour the year prior and that it made her cry. And he told her, we're on stage at 1:10 today. I hope to see you there. Cut to 1:10 in the afternoon. The Maine is on stage and that girl starts crowd surfing. As she gets near the front of the stage, Jono points right to her and he says, hey, you made it. You're here. You're part of this. That girl will never forget that moment, and the people in the audience might not have exactly known what was going on in that instant, but the band made it a point to make this one person feel special because they knew that if she had this story, she would carry it with her forever, and she would maybe tell other people what happened, and she did, and the post did very well online, but at the end of the day, they made sure to make that person feel special because her decision to support them was special as well. And the Maine approach this in every aspect of their music. They constantly want to be making you as an individual feel heard, seen, and loved, because that's how you make them feel. And the fact that they found a way to do that time and time again over the course of now 7 studio releases is what every artist should aspire to do. Now, I'm sure as this video gets around, people will be commenting below and telling me other artists that perform this way or who go out of their way to do things for their artists, and I completely believe you. There are countless artists out there doing it, but the Maine embody what is possible when a group of like-minded individuals come together to do something that is ultimately bigger than themselves and bigger than the sum of the total of the 5 of them together. What the Maine have done is create a place where anybody who loves alternative music and specifically likes what they're doing in music can find friends, can feel less alone, and just be part of something, which is what we all want on a very, very basic level. Psychologically speaking, we all seek to belong somewhere, and the Maine are creating a place with each release, with each show, and with their new festival in Arizona that gives people that space. And when those people come together, wonderful things happen. Friendships are made, romances start, confidence is built. The things that the Maine are doing right now are bigger than music, and because of that, their career in music continues to succeed. Now that's all the time we have right now, but I did want to point out that if you'd like to know even more about the Maine, we just posted a podcast on our channel with John O'Callaghan, the vocalist for the group, talking about the new album, talking about the group's recently announced festival, Sad Summer, and so much more. It's about 25 minutes long, and it's a great deep dive for fans of the band and newcomers alike. So go ahead and check that out, and you can get there by clicking the subscribe button down below and heading over to our YouTube channel. With that said, it's time for me to get out of here and go work on next week's video, so please subscribe to the channel, enjoy the Maine, and just have a great week, because you deserve it.